My name's Ethan Braid, and today we're going to talk about why you need to fund your trust. Quick background on me. I've been in the wealth management industry for 25 years. 12 years ago, I founded my investment advisory firm, HighPass. Today, we manage over $100 million for a select group of clients. Over the course of my career, I've had the privilege to design several hundred financial plans. The information I'm going to talk about today is based upon that experience and that data set. My goal is to help your family improve your financial plan. So let's talk about why we need to fund our trust and what does trust funding really mean. So why we need to fund our trust. If you have assets that are not held in the name of your trust and they do not have a designated beneficiary, then those assets will go through probate court upon your death. One of the primary benefits of a trust is that assets held in the trust upon your death will bypass the probate court. So it's critical that if you have assets that you want to go to your beneficiaries and bypass probate, that these assets need to be held in the name of your trust. Examples of these assets would be things like your home, brokerage accounts, LLCs, limited partnerships, savings accounts, okay? Now, what do we mean when we say fund our trust? What are we talking about? What is trust funding? Funding your trust is simply retitling an asset from your name as an individual to the name of your trust. The steps that you go through to transfer assets out of your name and into the name of your trust will be different based upon what the asset is. For example, if you have a brokerage account, putting a brokerage account into the name of your trust will require you to open a new brokerage account in the name of your trust. So you will go to the brokerage firm and say, I have a trust, I'd like to fund my trust. They'll help you open a new brokerage account in the name of your trust. You'll need to give them a copy of your trust. And then they'll help you transfer your assets out of your name into the name of your trust, your new trust account. And essentially, you funded your trust that way. If we're talking about real estate, your home perhaps, the process will be that you'll need to have a new deed created designating your trust as the owner of the property and then file that deed with your county. A trust is an entity similar to an LLC. So think of a trust like you would a business. If you own a business and you want to open a checking account for your business, you'll need to open that checking account in the name of the LLC for your business, and then you'll fund it. The process for a trust is very similar. A trust is an entity. So to just think that if I'm funding my trust, it's no different than funding a business checking account. I need to open an account or have an asset in the name of my trust. Trust funding is generally an administrative task. The time it takes to complete this task is going to be based upon how many assets you hold and the type of asset that you hold, okay? The more assets you hold, obviously, the more time it's going to take. And also the type of asset. Some assets, it's pretty routine and pretty quick to retitle them in the name of your trust. A brokerage account or a bank account is pretty easy. It might take a little bit more time if we're talking about LLCs and limited partnerships or real estate. In my experience, not funding a trust is a very common problem. I see it all the time. And this usually happens for a couple of different reasons. One that I see frequently is a family has met with an estate lawyer. The estate lawyer did an excellent job, helped the family, designed a great trust that's going to accomplish the needs and wants of the family. And then, maybe in conjunction with the family's financial advisor, all of the family's assets at one time were properly funded in the trust, put in the trust. But maybe this was 15 years ago or 10 years ago, or even 5. And since that time, the family has made some changes. Maybe they've moved assets, or probably more likely they've obtained some new assets. Maybe they've invested in some new real estate deals or some private equity or something like that, or bought a second home or a third home, okay? And this is where I often see we get out of alignment with the estate plan. Now we're taking on new assets, and maybe in that transition, the person just didn't think about putting the asset in the name of the trust, or for ease, because it's easier to acquire an asset just in your name than it is in the name of the trust, because there's extra administrative work to be done. I've seen people, they will buy or invest in something, and then their intention is to circle back and put it in the name of the trust, but time goes on and they forget. And then, days become weeks and months and then years. So this happens quite a bit. Sometimes I see families where they've met with an attorney, the attorney gave them an estate plan, and sometimes there's a communication issue where the person thought that and I've seen this quite a bit, that just creating the trust took care of everything, and that's not the case. And so many times I've met with families and had to show them, okay, your assets are actually not in the trust, and they're going to go through probate. It's always a shock. People are always surprised. And I've just, for 25 years, I've seen this so many times. And I think probably why that happens, again, it can be overwhelming. You're going through this process with the attorney. The attorney, almost always, I'll see in the trust documents, there will be a letter in there that says, okay, here's what you need to do next. But maybe it's a lack of communication, or just in that process the person forgets. But I see that a lot. Okay, so there are a couple of reasons why oftentimes I see that trusts are not funded. But from 30,000 feet, this is all too common. It happens a lot. Also, law of large numbers, if you're a family and you have lots of different investments, you're in lots of different limited partnerships and private equity and other things, very common for one or two to slip through the cracks. Okay, so hopefully this video has been helpful, and it gets you thinking about your situation, and it will help you to just make a list and go through all of your assets, and then confirm, are my assets that need to be in the trust?